Hello. Um, I know y'all haven't seen me in a while, but this is Sergeant Richard Gabby, and I was brought back to help out on today, which is going to be season 2, episode number 1 for the Motell television show. And my boss, Motell Granite, who is noticeably absent, who is dealing with some situations about being incarcerated behind steel bars, but he'll probably get that taken care of. Anyway, he'll just throw money at it and it'll make it go away. But I'm going to get a chance to kick off season 2. This is Sergeant Richard Gabby, and I'm going to be your host for this particular episode, which I was told what to say and what to do. So I'm going to try to follow as close as I can, bestest, to what they want me to do. Now, they told me that they want me to do this episode called Psychological. Psychological. So I guess what I'm supposed to talk about is something that's psychological. Now, sometimes when there's a problem between people, it can come from a psychological thing. For example, if a little boy, when he was a little boy, had been in a situation where something bad had happened to him, and it becomes a psychological thing that when he gets older and has a mustache and a beard or something like that, he might be distracted, and it may interfere with a possible relationship with a woman, and it might cause him to have psychological issues, and he may have something that turns into trust issues, and it becomes hard for him to have a relationship that's good. So that is one way psychological kind of works. I know. Okay. Now, another way that psychological kind of works is if you have some type of advantage that you feel like you have over a person, like seduction. Sometimes people feel like they have a psychological advantage over another person, and they use it against that other person. And before you know it, there's like a whole situation where somebody feels like they was cheated and robbed in a situation and they feel bad. But it happens. So it's a psychological thing. Can you move forward from it? Or will you just lay in the grass with the snakes and get stung? Or what is it that snakes do to you? Shoot some kind of venom or cobra or something like that with it. Something like that. But those are a couple of psychological things. Another one is a woman deals with psychological things sometimes. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm not a professional or nothing like that. I'm just sitting in for Motell Granite on this one. But a woman's psychological deal could be a whole lot of things. Yes, it could be a whole lot. And it could be about a man. It could be about her work. It could be about one of her kids. It could just be about it be. It could just be about it ain't. It could just be about it was. It could just be about what it ain't. It could just be about what could be. Um, it could be any of those things. And who knows? But it's psychological. I think women talk themselves in the situation and talk themselves out. In, out, in, out. Uh, that's my shout out to all of the New York DJs from back in the late 70s. But psychological, speaking of DJs, psychological can be in hip hop and rap music. Uh, these people have a psychological advantage in when they are putting together the art of music and making songs and putting together videos. Those are some things where they have a psychological advantage. Now, some people say, I didn't say this so I don't want nobody to attack me or make my check short. I don't want no pink slip in my locker. But some people talked about white man has a psychological advantage over black man. I see I'm still living, so maybe it's okay. They didn't make them little red lights and stuff like that go off or start blinking at a whole lot of fast pace. So maybe I'm okay, but some say it's a psychological advantage. So psychological, a psychological advantage is something that you might have to pray on to see if you should use if you have it. You may have to have a psychological mindset if you was incarcerated like Motell Granite. Like right now, he's probably using a psychological advantage somewhere, yelling and screaming about some kind of injustice and let me out and things like that. Because anyway, so this is Sergeant Richard Gabby, and I want to thank you all for coming to season number 2, episode number 1 for the Motell Granite Show, and it's called Psychological. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but only on my show, but since, it's me, I'm going to go ahead and add this. First, let me say God bless you, and may God continue to bless you and keep you. Is that what you wanted me to say? Okay. All right. Well, whoa, heavy.